If the government has a money printing machine, if with just one button press millions of notes can be printed, then a question naturally arises. Why is there poverty in the country? Why is there unemployment? And why does the common person have to struggle so much for money? This question comes to almost everyone's mind at some point. People often say, if the government wants, it can make everyone rich overnight. It just needs to print more money. This sounds very simple, and for a moment it even feels right. Because we think that if everyone has a lot of money, all problems will automatically disappear. Imagine this. Every person's bank account has crores of rupees. No one sleeps hungry. No one is unemployed. Everyone has a house, a car, and a comfortable life. But this is where a very big truth is hidden. This idea may look beautiful, but in reality, it is just as dangerous. First of all, it is important to understand that in India, the power to print money does not lie directly with the government. This responsibility belongs to the Reserve Bank of India, that is, the RBI. The RBI has modern machines and highly secure printing presses where currency notes are printed. So yes, the machine really exists. But that does not mean money can be printed whenever and however much one wants. Let's understand this with a very simple example. Suppose there is a small village with only 10 people, and the entire village has only 10 apples. That means each person can get 1 apple. Now imagine the government suddenly gives a lot of money to these 10 people, but the number of apples remains the same, only 10. What will happen then? Everyone will be ready to pay more money to buy apples. The result? Apple prices will rise. This process is called inflation. Inflation does not mean that you don't have money. Inflation means the value or purchasing power of your money has fallen. This is not just theory from textbooks. History has seen this many times. In the 1920s, Germany printed money excessively. As a result, people had to carry bags full of notes just to buy a single loaf of bread. In Zimbabwe, the situation became even worse. At one point, a $100 trillion note was printed. But even that was not enough to buy a simple loaf of bread. In all these cases, the same mistake was made, printing more money than needed. When money in a country increases but production does not, factories don't increase, farms don't produce more food, then money becomes nothing more than paper. In reality, money is not magic. The real power of money is trust. We accept currency notes because we trust that we will be able to buy things with them tomorrow as well. But the moment this trust breaks, markets start shutting down, investment stops, and the entire economy begins to shake. That is why the government and the RBI are extremely careful while printing money. Money is always printed in limited amounts, keeping in mind the country's GDP, production capacity, and economic growth. The RBI maintains balance in the economy through interest rates. When interest rates are low, people spend more. When interest rates rise, people spend less. Now think about this. If your salary doubles but inflation increases 3 times, have you really become richer? No. The biggest loss is suffered by the middle class. The value of people's savings gets destroyed. Money saved over years slowly becomes worthless. Printing too much money makes businesses unstable. Foreign investors get scared and leave the country. The nation's currency weakens and imports become expensive. Oil, gas, medicines, machines, everything becomes costlier. And the impact of all this falls directly on the common person's pocket. Yes, it is true that sometimes governments do print money. For example, during the COVID pandemic, many countries around the world did this. But that was an emergency situation and only for a limited time. Doing this for a long period can prove extremely dangerous for a country's economy. In reality, a country's real wealth is not money. Real wealth is production, skills, jobs, technology, and hardworking people. Money is just a medium, just a piece of paper to which we all collectively give value. The biggest responsibility of a government is to maintain balance. Too little money will stop development. Too much money will cause inflation to explode. Because of this balance, even though the machine exists, the government does not print money at will. Because printing money does not make a country rich. A country becomes rich through hard work, production, and sound economic understanding.